Right, let's jump straight in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're putting you directly in the hot seat at Rasta Infotech, a massive player in warehouse automation and enterprise solutions. We're going to break down absolutely everything you need to know to crush an SAP Materials Management or SAP MM interview. Whether you're gearing up for a huge career move or you just kind of want to understand the engine that actually drives modern enterprise procurement, well, you're definitely in the right place.
Before the technical grilling even starts, we've got to set the stage. The experts over at Rasta Infotech have explicitly stated that SAP MM stands as a cornerstone for procurement and inventory management. And honestly, that brilliantly captures why hiring managers are so obsessed with this module. In this era of digital transformation, SAP MM isn't just some basic tool. It's literally the foundation. If you don't grasp its strategic value, you're just not making it past the first round.
So, here's our interview itinerary for today's explainer. We'll be hitting 1. The Rasta Infotech interview. 2. Mastering the procure-to-pay cycle. 3. Purchase requisitions versus orders. 4. Cross-module integration strategies. And finally, 5. Acing the MM assessment. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The Rasta Infotech interview, defining the consultant role.
Okay, so picture this. The hiring manager leans in and hits you with what sounds like a super easy warm-up question. What are your core responsibilities? They're doing this to test your absolute baseline understanding of the day-to-day role. They want to know, do you actually see the big picture, or do you just see a mundane list of software tasks?
Now, this is where it gets genuinely interesting. Rasta Infotech completely elevates this role from a standard IT job into a real strategic partnership. Yeah, for sure, you configure workflows and manage master data. Those are the table stakes. But a truly top-tier consultant actively aligns the SAP software with AI-powered digital transformation projects. You're not just managing data, you're literally future-proofing the entire enterprise's warehouse automation.
Moving on to Section 2, Mastering the procure-to-pay cycle, the heart of supply chain.
So the Rasta Infotech expert shifts gears. They want to test your knowledge on the exact, precise mechanism this module uses to keep the whole supply chain flowing smoothly. This is your cue to show them you completely understand how materials move from a simple internal request all the way down to the final invoice payment. You've got to nail this automated procure-to-pay or P2P cycle step by step. Show them exactly how the system handles the whole shebang. It kicks off with the internal purchase requisition, transforms into the purchase order that goes to the vendor, and then tracks the physical goods receipt when those materials actually hit the dock. And finally, it triggers the financial vendor payment. SAP MM is tracking the stock levels and managing the valuation at every single step, making sure materials are there exactly when they're needed.
Want to absolutely blow their minds? Drop this real-world metric. Rasta Infotech clients have actually slashed their procurement lead times by a massive 30% using these exact automation features within the P2P cycle. Throwing a heavy-hitting impact metric like that into your answer proves you totally get the business value, not just where to click in the software.
Section 3. Purchase requisitions versus orders, compliance essentials.
I know, it seems like a really basic foundational question, right? But getting this right and explaining it clearly proves to your interviewer that you fully understand audit readiness. It shows you know how to train a team to dodge massive procurement bottlenecks down the road.
It all basically comes down to the boundary of the enterprise. A purchase requisition, or PR, is strictly an internal request. It's just a department raising their hand and saying, hey, we need this stuff. But the purchase order, the PO, is a legally binding document that actually goes out into the real world to external vendors. Confusing those two in a live environment causes massive compliance headaches, which is exactly why Rasta Infotech focuses so heavily on training teams on this specific distinction.
Section 4. Cross-module integration strategies, the ecosystem. Okay, this is the make or break moment in the interview. This is where you prove you aren't just stuck in a materials management silo. You've got to show that you truly grasp the end-to-end digital transformation synergy that a company like Rasta Infotech is famous for.
Because this cross-module synergy is exactly what sets the top candidates apart from the rest. You have to easily explain how MM talks to finance, or FI, by triggering automatic postings for goods receipt and invoice receipt accounts. Then you casually bring up sales and distribution, SD, showing how procurement directly links with order fulfillment. And finally, you seal the deal by proving you know production planning, or PP. Explain how MM guarantees those critical raw materials are ready and waiting on the factory floor. That synergy?
That's the real magic of SAP.
And our final stop, Section 5, Acing the MM Assessment, Technical Challenges. The interviewer asks this because they really want to know, did you just memorize a textbook last night, or do you actually know how to handle complex, real-time system scenarios? They want to see the dirt on your hands, so to speak.
Consider these points your absolute secret weapon cheat sheet. The experts at Rasta Infotech warn us that you will be tested on real-time scenarios involving these exact specifics. Knowing the technical, nitty-gritty details, like using Movement Type 101 specifically for a goods receipt, proves you have actual, boots-on-the-ground system readiness. You've also got to be ready to break down how to manage source lists for vendor selection and how account determination is wired up in MM. This is where your practical, hands-on experience really gets to shine.
So, as we wrap up this mock interview at Rasta Infotech, it's pretty clear that SAP MM is so much more than just a procurement tracker. It's a massive, strategic enabler of enterprise efficiency. Are you ready to bring that exact level of transformation to your next role? Ask yourself this. If your entire system crashed tomorrow, would your procurement cycle actually survive? Master these scenarios we talked about today, and you won't just pass the interview, you'll practically be running the department. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and hey, good luck in the hot seat.